go. I do believe we are live. So I'll say indeed and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you for joining me again on another day, another conscious evolution, another opportunity for us to give ourselves to ourselves. Yeah, basically. This morning when I woke up, I had this experience of seeing in my dream. So, to give you some context, I have been exposing myself to the fractal of Attack on Titan. All right. And I don't know if exposing myself is exactly the right way to say it, but I've been watching Attack on Titan. So, that's been the information I've been absorbing. So, I was definitely having some sort of dream in that world. And there was this air of, I have to, because like, and this is like mild spoilers for the friends who haven't watched deep into the Attack on Titan seasons. This is not that big of a spoiler, but it's more like information you find out later. It's not that significant. But as a Titan, when you eat another Titan, especially if he's a conscious one, you also end up inheriting memories, apparently, right? Where the things you know or the things that the previous people know before you might influence you and you might do things because of those memories, and then upon passing on those memories you can know that that person is now going to know about the memories that you have, right? So it was with that kind of convoluted, I don't understand what the hell I'm actually saying or looking at type of information pattern that arose to today's stream topic, where it was this energy of giving myself to who I am, right? Like I was like giving this body to be eaten technically to who I am, right? And to like think of it as like something linear in nature, but also something that goes beyond, right? It's linear to get to that thing, that real version of you that you are, but it always is, right? Even though it will take time to get to that version of yourself, it already is that version of itself then. Does this make sense? I hope I hope so. I don't know if it's supposed to make sense necessarily, as much as it's just supposed to be something that we can consider, right? So to reframe it as a question, how are you giving yourself to your life, or how are you giving your life to yourself, right? What does that look like? And what does that say about the experience you're going to have? Yesterday, we absorbed some information about different ways of showing up. You know, I hope that we can experience moments like that and still grow from it. But yeah, I'm trying to be super mindful about how I'm giving this flesh, right? Limited, temporary flesh, how I'm giving that to myself, right? My true self, the real self that we all are. Joe Schmo is here too. I see Joy V's name in chat. Blessings. Morning, friends. I am not for everyone. I am for myself. Yeah. Yeah. What a nice way to articulate today's stream topic as well. Not only how are you giving you to yourself, but are you making sure to give you to yourself instead of to everyone else? Right? Because I think there is balance. There is a certain level of you giving yourself to others, right? Like, and we can think of that like the way you show up. You might have a good day or you might have a bad day. And in the good day scenario, you give yourself to your friends and your family gleefully, joyfully, or super happy or ecstatic, you're stoked, you can celebrate their successes with them as well. And the second day you're super sad. So you're gloomy, and you're like all feeling bad for yourself, and you're like, and then you're bringing the people down around you because they don't want to deal with you being, And you're still technically giving yourself in both instances, right? You're showing up for the friends and family, even though you might not be feeling good, or even though you might be feeling good. And how you give yourself to them is going to be experienced, right? It's going to cause them to have one or another experience. And we can all kind of be like, yeah, obviously, Melt. And yet, we don't really pay attention to how we do that to ourselves as well, right? How are you giving you to yourself in that context, in that frame of reference, right? I like how the comment or the stream topic, the fractal we're pursuing, is already evolving. Thank you. Thank you so much, Joy V, for helping. What? I'm not that far in AOT, but that's very cool to know. Yeah, I think it's gonna come out, but again, like as I said, it is technically a spoiler, but it's gonna be information you find out. It doesn't play that big of a role, at least yet. It might play a big of a role, right? But right now, it's more like, yeah, this is like a thing or whatever, right? And they play a little bit of it. You'll get there. Bless you. I hope I didn't ruin anything. Good morning to you too, Josh Mo. We also have Sam here. Bless you. The world of Attack on Titan is very much a place where the fathers have eaten sour grapes and the children's teeth are set on edge. Yeah. It's an interesting world to pay attention to. There's like some more than you'd realize parallels with our world as well. Like the big thing that I'm noticing is just the secretism, like the keeping secrets, the withholding information for a reason, right? Usually for self-preservation. I have some of the strawberry runts in the grinder. The strawberry runts are really nice. Both strawberry strains are pretty tasty. The sour diesel one tastes a little bit better, I think. This one has a little bit more of a like a permanent markery aftertaste. Runtsy. It should just be candy technically, right? Like pungent candy after the strawberry. We're going to embrace because how I'm going to reason. Yeah, okay. I'm going to give the version of myself that is a little bit more soft. This one is technically energizing, so I should say a little bit more upbeat, a little bit more enthusiastic, so that myself can experience that too. Yeah. There we go. That should be enough. I learned that stacking the bowl completely full doesn't actually make it vaporize better. Surprise, surprise. So I'm learning. I'm learning actively. Found a little sheet. All right. Hey, Duck Dad is here too. Bless you, bro. It's nice having you here, man. Sam has a way with words that she does. Sam is a writer, and clever one. In fact, it's an old biblical saying about sins and how it used to be passed down bloodlines. Yeah, down to the 7th generation, right? Or 4th, 7th. Yeah, my family, unfortunately, some members of my family, I should say, instead, and I won't point directly at them. Part of me wants to, but I won't. That believes the reason that there is suffering in the world right now, the reason that there are people who are poor, right? And like it literally goes like that. Like we've had this conversation about UBI, and like I'm a big believer of UBI, right? Of like making sure on a societal level we take care of people. Like we're making a lot of money, and over the next 8 years, we're going to make more money than we've ever made before, right? Like in the same period of time. And if we're making this much money and we're not making sure that everybody has food to eat and a place to sleep, then what is the point? What is the money for, right? That's kind of my mind. And when I have these conversations, and I'm pretty strong on what I believe, and I don't budge, as you friends might have noticed, sometimes at least. When it comes to when it comes to stuff like this, right? When it comes to humanity, I don't budge. Then I'm met with these arguments of like, yeah, but there's a reason for their suffering, and that reason is like their fathers or their fathers' fathers or their fathers' fathers' fathers were sinners, and that's why they're in that position now. And like the amount of absurd that it brings up in me, like we went from being 1.4 billion people at like the start of the 1900s to being 8 billion, maybe plus today, right? So in 120 years, we added 7 billion people, give or take. 6 billion, 7 billion people extra on the earth, right? Which means that, and this is the thing that really trips me out about our growth, is I feel like it really isn't understood this way. Like where evolution and different character traits usually took decades to iterate and flush out almost. Like I'm thinking about it like phenotypes, right? And I think this is probably wrong. I shouldn't think about it this way. But since I do grow plants and I understand phenotypes in plants, it's almost like I'm imagining humanity and the amount of growth we've experienced as like a phenotype divergence, where we're still all people, obviously, but because of the numbers, because of the amount of people, the amount of like variation into each of those fractals is like expansive, right? To think of it like saplings, you might like look at a forest and maybe the forest isn't big just yet, so all you're seeing is like a little sapling, little sticks, right? Sticks standing all the way, over your field of vision, small little sticks peeking out of the ground. And they might be different species, they might be different races or skin colors or you know, different intelligences, whatever, however you want to articulate it, right? But if it's just the small little trees, right, like the infancy of our species, it's not going to look like much and it won't be that identifiable. Like you might not see the differences as immediately, right? And then with like the explosion of our populations, you can think of it like that little stick with a few leaves growing to be a tree completely covered in those leaves. And now because of that covering of leaves, it's a lot easier for you to see the fractal and to pay attention to the leaf structure and to pay attention to the system that is the ecosystem that the tree kind of allows, and how that tree allows other insects or other birds or other critters to live on it, around it, inside of it, right? And like I feel like that's what's happening on a species level for us as well right now, where we're getting to like flush out the divergence, the diversity of our species, and that flushing out is now going to be turned around, at least in my mind, a little bit, where I feel like with the next few years, gene editing is going to become a real big thing. And internet plus gene editing sounds like a really cool combination to me, right? Imagine just people uploading in the same way you upload software, right? Like maybe you write a cool program or a cool algorithm and you can upload that piece of software to GitHub, and then maybe people can download it and you can be like cited, or you can see the number of hits of people benefiting from your code kind of vibe, doing that of our genomes. Maybe I have the genes for curly hair, for example, right? And maybe you on the other side of the world really want curly hair. So I can sequence my genome, isolate with artificial intelligence the part of my genome that codes for the way that my hair chooses to grow. And then I can upload that genome to the internet. And then potentially someone can download that and edit themselves, right? So imagining like this an enormous amount of diversity that happened because of the population explosion, and then to see that population contributing the best parts of themselves, right, to the internet, and then all of us speeding up our evolution, consciously evolving alongside our technology. Maybe like that's a comment about hope in there. I don't know if it sounds hopeful or if it sounds absolutely terrifying. It might be both, depends on where you find yourself, depending on what you think right is. I feel like all of us are already playing God just by doing this right now, right? Like this is technically godlike power I'm wielding right now, right? Like there's like these biblical accounts of angels suddenly showing up in people's houses and then talking to them, right? You can wield a device and then suddenly open me up into your room, right? Oh, be not afraid, young one. The future is bright. Straight up magicking right now. Love is true. I'm stoked about the future. I think I think cool things are coming. It's gonna be fun. Let me see. How many comments did I miss? Need sex. Bless you, bro. It's nice having you here. Earthworms can get ground up and fed to each other, and new worms can traverse mazes based on the memories of the worms they ate. I didn't know that. I didn't know that information, Joyviv. Love is true. I'm gonna really absorb that. I'm gonna think about the fact that worms can eat ground up worms and gain information that way, right? Not just gain information, because I do believe everything we absorb is information. Like I'm going to smoke on a little bit of bud right now. But if I had the technology to, I could technically analyze down to the nanometer details, right? Like exactly the compounds that's in this. Some THC, some CBD, some CBN, some, endocannabinoid activating terpenes, right? And I can see all of those values, and now absorbing it, inhaling it, and then it kind of like going into my blood membrane and into my blood, and then onto all of my cannabinoid receptors. That is like an information download, and then the way I process that information ends up being my experience, right? And then to think of it from that perspective, like the eating the earthworms, eating ground up earthworms, not only am I experientially downloading the information, but I am getting information that can help me solve problems that I might not even realize I'm trying to solve, right? Because do the worms know that they're solving a problem, or do they just eat the ground up worm and go, oh yeah, I'm gonna go in this direction, right? To them, they're not even solving a maze, they're just going where they know they're supposed to go. So that in mind, help me know where I'm supposed to go. Help me know how I can give myself to myself better. Good? Yes. Perfect. Love is true. No, 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 no. Strawberry runs. Yeah, that is nice. Second heat is even better. Last heat. That should be it. All right. The runs have a chemically taste. Yeah. Yeah, that's like that. I don't know how to explain it. I need to up my vocabulary. I think I need to smoke more different types. Maybe even educate myself a little bit. Hey, I see Zano. Hello, lovelying us. Bless you. I'll get to you the rest of the messages soon. Used to calm you. Used to calm you that in college, huh? But that's pretty cool. Saxon OG. What? Didn't y'all break open your new Spyro game? Or is the Christmas gift for Duckling? Spyro was so good. No, not yet Christmas. Okay. Joe does candy reviews, and I would totally watch. That would probably be pretty cool, actually. Dakaru, I saw your Christmas dino sweater on Christmas on Reddit. It was awesome. So much love. Today was growing crystals from a National Geographic kid. That is really cool, actually, Duck Dad. Weirdly enough, my sister dissolved a bunch of sugar in water, and she wants to grow a bunch of sugar crystals. So, and I was like thinking about that. I was like looking at the whole setup today, and I was like, how about how about that? My sister is growing sugar crystals. I think she's doing it wrong. I want to tell her that I think she's doing it wrong. She's growing crystals, but there's no way for the water to evaporate. So maybe you can still grow crystals that way. Maybe if it has an affinity. Maybe if you can get a crystal to form, it might have an affinity to its own crystal structure instead of just a liquid. But I think she's going to have to open that sucker up so that the water can evaporate for crystallization to actually happen. No, 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 no. I'll review your stupid freaking products with exactly that energy. First to do shake weight review. No, the shake weight review is the first one, bro. We have to see how good you can do the shake weight review. Otherwise, we can't trust you with anything else, right? If you can make the shake weight sound like something I want to buy, that's a good sign that we should get you, to sell the stuff as well. My throat is feeling a little bit scratchy. I'll pour myself a glass of water to remedy that. Swampy calls Doug for shake weight review, and I review it with gusto. You just scared the target audience, sweetheart. Maybe we'll get you on some shaving kits and coffee makers. It's already too excited about that shake weight. Start the shake weight review. I like how the shake weight is now the new focus point. I've been training for decades for this exact moment. Oh, bruh. It's like, wow, you're really good at that, Doug Dad. Thank you. I have practice. And you go, oh, wow, you've had the shake weight for very long. And you're like, no, I got it today. Here, you see the people going, you've been practicing for years, but you got it today? What do you mean, sir? Swampy. I'm just getting excited for life. That's good, bro. I'll review the hell out of that one for you guys, says Doug Dad. Oh man, I super slept through yoga. Good morning, my lovelies. Good morning, Joe. You're here, dear friend. You were missed during yoga. It's nice having you. I have told my forearms are impressive. All messages. I think I already switched. Yeah, I did. Thank you for the reminder, Joy Vive. Who are we kidding? Joy, Melt be skipping my comments. Am I skipping your comments, Duck Dad? Start the shake weight review. No, that one I read. I read the excitement one. I read the Reddit loves the treks. I read the Swampy Duck for shake weight review. I did the not Christmas yet one. I did the neat sex. Maybe I should read your comments twice. Maybe it works better that way. Popeye forearms from all that shake weight practice stuff. Swampy, I like to say, for swinging my hammer all day. Well, wink. That way I'm correct on all fronts. I'll stop now, thank you. Don't eat all the earthworms, just let them make more dirt. Yeah, we want those castings. And try to eat them occasionally so that we can maintain our biodiversity. I'm having some mixed feelings right now. Because I have actually, unironically, taken pinches of dirt and put it in myself. And I know I might get worms and stuff like that. I know. I've done my research. I know. But for the most part, I haven't died just yet. But now eating an earthworm to update my biodiversity, that's like a new step. Like I'm eating alive, an alive part of the earth. Like it's an earthworm. I imagine it being like squidgy, chewing it. I don't imagine it tasting like anything else other than dirt. I can't imagine the goo is gonna be very enjoyable. Do I bite them in half and let the other half go? Is that more ethical? I mean, if I eat one earthworm, I guess it's not gonna be that big of a hit. I don't know how I feel about this, Doc Joe Schmo. I'm not feeling opposed to it, right? Like it makes sense to me. It's like, if earthworms can eat earthworms and then solve mazes quicker, then maybe if I eat earthworms, then I can be a little bit more in tune with the ground, right? Like that's what I'm imagining. I'm imagining the information that that earthworm body has experienced, right? In the same way that I think of crystals, since we're talking about crystals, like this crystal has existed for potentially hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years before I did, right? This crystal has seen some shit. Maybe it was seeing some shit just stationary, just Zen mode 5000 sitting and staring into reality, right? Maybe it wasn't seeing at all. I think they do, but that's just my own mind, right? Like they have a refractory index. Light can penetrate them and be changed by them. So maybe be stored by them as well. So in the same way, if the earthworm has been like just like I'm imagining like the equivalent of like swimming. Like I imagine like that's what it's like for the worm, right? Sure, he doesn't have any limbs and he's just kind of like pushing himself forward. But I imagine it being like a swimming kind of action, like swimming through the freaking ground. So I'm downloading all of that swimming through the ground information by eating the worm in that moment. I'll try it. I'll try it and see how I feel. Hand Shoes is here too. Hey you. It's nice seeing you too, dear friend. Thank you for blessing us with your presence. How have you been? It's grand, right? I remember Jovan reminding us, City you love, bro. Giving to myself is the biggest challenge yet, but it's so important. I don't know how much of the previous conversation that you actually got, Melita. It's nice seeing you here. Like we talked about the difference in energies as well, where we can give ourselves to other people in multiple different ways. So maybe you're not having a good day, maybe you're feeling a little bit emotional, and that emotional, maybe tired, maybe groggy experience leads to you being less than kind or a little bit short with the people you have around you. And even though you are showing up and you're giving yourself to those people, because of the energy with which you're giving yourself to those people is in a certain way or not, the experience that is downloaded and received, absorbed, right, changes as well. And to think of the experience that we of ourselves give to ourselves being influenced, abiding by the same laws, same rules, right, as to experience, and becoming very aware of how are we making ourselves feel by giving ourselves to ourselves in certain ways. So weird question. We don't really think about that. At least I haven't spent a lot of time thinking about that. Biodiversity. Doc, that's far enough, brother. What do you guys want to bet that scientists already worked out how to reactivate the gene and use it as a threat to keep high-level prisoners in check? Keep your shit up, and you'll remember being food. Like that doesn't sound like a threat to me. Weirdly enough, if I was a prisoner and someone tunes me, you want to remember what it's like being food? I'd be like, you know what? Yeah, yeah, I think I would. I think it would humble me. I think it would be good for my frame of reference understand, to understand, just to understand. I don't even have to understand more than that. Just to understand what it's like being food, what it's like being consumed. Like suddenly I started experiencing pain in my body, like my foot. My foot suddenly started like, it's like, no, please stop remembering. Stop remembering. Maybe it's one of those things where you're like, yeah, experientially, this sounds like it could be good, and then it's really not good. It's really not fun being food. It's not fun. You don't want to be melty. The runs. It's almost like they have an artificial flavoring or something like that. It really is impressive, dude. It's like strawberry at the start, and then like as you said, like cheap, and I say cheap not because it's a bad thing, but because it's familiar, like cheap candy flavoring, right? It's like strawberry plus that cheap candy flavoring taste, from Bud. And I'm like, and it's a sativa as well, I believe. So it is not supposed to wreck you as much, supposedly. I'm already feeling kind of sentimental about it. We'll see. I have some Bud that's called Point Break, and I only have 2 grams of it, and it's also so good. Like it's fun. I wish I could share some of this with you friends. I ended up giving my dad some of the strawberry sour diesel yesterday, and he was straight up speechless. He's been saying though, he would like to. He understands. How can I articulate that? Ek verstaan hoekom jy dit doen. Veral as jy dit so doen soos dat jy weet, verskillende tipe whisky sal drink en sal sip en sal ry. Which like directly translates to, I understand why you're doing it. It's the same as how some people would drink different whiskeys and smell them and slowly sip them, really absorbing the experience, or different wines. And I'm like, yeah, that is what it's about. The only difference is like the body load. I don't think you get away. I mean, it depends. I feel like if you do it with these vaporizers, it makes a little bit more sense, right? If I was running joints still, I don't think I'd be able to cope, because that means with the joints I roll, all of the strawberry runs I bought would be like 11 joints. So if I rolled myself joints in the stream like I used to, it would be 11 days. And then all of that bud would be gone. That would be a damn shame. I don't know how I cope with that. So I'm happy to have switched over to vaporizing. It's one way for me to give, it's one way I am giving me to myself. Yeah, right? Because I am probably going to continue absorbing cannabis. I seem to enjoy it. But that being said, there are a bunch of different ways to absorb cannabis. And if I'm going to give that to myself, I might as well give it to myself in a way that is going to be less harmful over the long term. And I'm trying to think how all of the other things I do in my life has the same kind of rules. Like food is the thing that I need to get to that same point in as well right now. Like how can I become a little bit more excited about my food? That's the thing that I feel I'm missing, right? Like I have a certain level of excitement in my heart right now to try different strains and see the effects that they generate, the smells, the taste. It's something that excites me. And food, even though technically has all of those things as well, right? Like the experience of eating it. It's not going to be quite as psychoactive, but there's still going to be an experience of eating it. It's going to be flavors, it's going to be textures, it's going to be smells. So I want to give myself, if I'm going to give myself food, I want to give myself the experience of being a little bit more excited about that as well. We'll see how the future keeps unfolding. We'll share as we go. Message received, kind nugs, but they have an almost natural taste. The start of it definitely. Like, and it's still very earthy, like at the deepest flavor. Almost an unnatural flavor on the front end of the inhale. I got it today. Love is true. Like Soylent Green. Yes, all of us need to start drinking Soylent Green. Isn't Soylent Green people? Isn't Soylent Green people? Soylent Green is people. I was sure you would avoid the shake weight comments. You surprised me today, bruh. I am receiving with love. I also made some cannabis oil. With the spent bud, you can technically extract this because it's decarbed. Like after it comes out of this, it's decarb bud. So you can use that decarb bud apparently in oil. So I stored a little bit of it, and I did. You put it in oil, and the oil did change color. It looks like a beautiful golden color, which is not completely. What's the word I'm looking for? Like let me say what I'm feeling. I've made cannabis oil that was a lot more on the green side, right? Like very much it was like green. This one is more golden, right? Like honey-esque. You wanna see? I'll show you. You wanna come with me? No, you wanna stay? Okay. I'll give you this scene. Look at this. Yeah. Wait for me. Wait for me out here. Piep piep. Dankie. Ek het 'n bietjie olie gemaak, pappa. Ons 'n paar van wil hê. Ek weet nie. Dis my klaar gespente vibe. Soos dis dieselfde manier wat jy in die oond sit in 'n decarb. Jy kan dit na die tyd kan jy olie ekstrakt van mee. Soos kyk hoe lyk dit. Dit lyk mooi, hè?
Netjies, ja.
Ja.
Wat se olie is dit?
Dit is coconutolie. Soos ek dink die jar ryk meestal soos. Maar ek sal dit nog maar toets en sien hoe sterk dit is.
Ja. Dat meneer van die tepel af aan word hier toe moet wakker.
Ja, dit hoef nie so sterk wees nie. I'm coming back. Had a bit of a chat with Dad about it. This is the zoomed one. There we go. That's the color of it. Maybe I can. There's like small bits of debris. The filter I use isn't that fine. So I'll see. I'll see if the vape bud is still going to be useful. It doesn't smell like much. At least not in this jar. I think this was a jam jar before, so it's contending with those smells. Like solid green. Wait to check what comments. Love is true. Doing super duper awesome. I'm happy to hear that. Thank you for blessing us. Sending you love, dear Kristen. We're going to great pause. Mel, don't eat the dirt. Starts eating dirt more aggressively. Goes and get myself a teaspoon so I can eat dirt faster. Don't tell me what to do, Zano. I'll eat dirt if I want to. I ate loads of dirt as a child. I had lead poisoning, which led to pica, and my body wanted the minerals. The dirt was fine. Eating lead paint was the bad thing. Yeah, lead paint is not okay. Dirt, you'll survive. Eat pumpkin seeds so you don't get worms. It's the best natural remedy for worms. I didn't actually know that. Thank you for letting me know. I do eat pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds with yogurt is a really nice experience. I eat them raw though. I don't know if you're supposed to toast them, if you get more stuff out of them that way. Putting on my new suspenders, listening to Duck debating how to eat listening to a dude debating on how to eat an earthworm. I love my odd life. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Actually, this is a cool life to be living in. I get to talk about eating worms, and people find that neat. What an odd life. I love my odd life too. Thank you, Duck Dad, for reminding me. Love is true. Let's go again. The amount of wind that's happening around me right now makes it a little bit more haphazard. I don't even know what I'm doing. I can't see my flame even. I'm just waiting for clicks. Hey, click 1, click 2. What a neat life to live. To have a little vaporizer. To have bud that's called Strawberry Runs. That tastes like I'm breathing in the fumes coming out of a strawberry candy factory. You think vapors are healthier for your lungs? I'm pretty sure, because there's no micro bits, right? There's no carcinogens. When you're smoking something, there's particulates. The particulates is the stuff that gets lodged in your lungs, and then your immune system has to deal with that stuff. These are only the oils which can be absorbed. Technically, they do get absorbed in your lung membrane. So if any of it stays, it will literally get sucked into my body. The medicine shall be absorbed. You evolved into a Pikachu. Freaking love. Something scared the rooster, and now he's chilling on the porch with us. Probably a crocodile, dude. Look at me stereotyping. Melty seems to be interesting. He seems to be interested in your conversation. What's up, chickums? Pakako. It's nice having you here too. Oh, no. There's so much lead in the soil in Toronto. So much so that it's not really safe to play in the dirt. Holy. Yeah, we don't have that big of a lead problem here. I don't think, at least. We have more iron-rich soil here. Does that mean you have magnetic earthworms? I saw that video as well. The earthworms eating like small bits of filed metal and then becoming magnetic as a result. Been very good. Spend the year investing in myself and my future. For the first time in my life, I intend to live the entirety of this experience we all experiment with. What a blessing it is to hear that, dear friend. Yes, bless you and your journey. That makes me happy to hear, right? Like, just think about that. For a lot of us, we're kind of just living because that's what we're supposed to do. And some of us might not even think we have something to live for. We might not even know if we'll be alive. We might not even know if we want to be alive, right? And then seeing messages like that, it's heartening to know that there are people making the decision right now, this week, the last month, this year, to actually live their life in its entirety. To know that they're going to live a full life and to be like, yeah, I want that. I want that full life. Even if it means dying tomorrow, it was still a full life, but living with that mentality. They pop out of the soil like Godzilla 2000. If you start eating earthworms, please save your poop and mail it to Duck. Dad, earthworms casting be expensive, yo. Bro, I think like we have taken a step down the wrong path if I start mailing you logs in the like cross the sea, bro. Like I'm just, oh goodness, no, please. Mostly what you want in prison is to have some escape, which entering a simulation might be the escape. Yeah, VR in prison is probably going to be a big thing. If I were to go to prison, I would want to take a lot of LSD, probably. That would probably be my escape. If I go to prison, all I want is a file and a good spoon so I can get back to where they took me from my prison wish list. I would stay, bro. I'd be like, oh wait, I'm gonna spend 25 years in prison. Guess I'm going to take LSD every 2 weeks for the next 25 years in prison. Guess that's what I'm doing right now. And then I'll journal the week after, and then I'll do some studying the week before, and then I'll take LSD, and then I'll journal for a week, study for a week, take LSD, and that will be my reality for 25 years. I will come out of prison flying, bruh. I'll come out of prison because they told me I can, but in reality, I'm gonna walk out of the prison cell and then instantly just fly away right? And they're like, why didn't he do that before? And they're like, because he's that good of a guy now. He's that great. He could have flown out of this prison 19 years ago, but no, he decided to stay, bro. Yeah, because he's a junkie. He just wanted to take LSD every 2 weeks for the next 19 years of his life. That's why he didn't fly out. And to that I say, maybe. Like 25 years means I killed someone though. That's the part that's causing me concern. Who did I kill, dude? Probably Christian. Because he tried to kill me or something. We have this running joke that we're going to live for thousands of years and eventually he's going to become a bad guy and I'm going to have to be the good guy, or the other way around. I'm going to become the bad guy and he's going to have to be the good guy, and it's going to be a battle to the death, right? Like the only ones who are allowed to die are, like, we are only allowed to die if it's at each other's hands, right? No dying of sickness, no dying in accidents, no dying of natural causes, only dying by battle to the death. I probably shouldn't say stuff like that. It's not that funny when you say it out loud. I hope I didn't miss anyone. We love you, Loizana. Thank you for being here with us, friend. For taking the time to bless our friends as well with your awareness. Swampy, you want me to blow your mind? Take this searching pouch, the seasoning pouch from ramen, throw it in your rice cooker, and boom, any flavored rice you want, baby. That is pretty big brain, dude. I won't lie. I haven't tried that. That doesn't sound bad. Soil ingredients made from people. I'm starting my day with apricot mac 1. Oh my goodness. Does it taste amazing? That does sound good, dude. I haven't had any apricot-y type stuff, bro. That's some pretty nice soil ingredients, people. I've been dabbing mostly these days. Flour is really not my favorite anymore. So this is the way I'm doing it, Anshoes. Small little mini chamber, right? Like this is after I vaped it. It's still a little bit green even, right? I mean, it's not that green, but it's somewhat green. And it's such small chambers, about 0.07 grams. And I think at the most 0.10 grams, which is very minuscule. Like if you buy flour, if you buy like a gram, I think an eighth is 3.5 grams. An eighth would be like 30 to 40 bowls in this. It would get like 30 to 40 different experiences out of an eighth of bud. So I don't know what an eighth of bud costs for you, friends, but that's kind of the appeal for me right now. Dabs is a little bit much. I probably will, right, enjoy a dab or two in my life, but I feel like that's a little bit much. This is like microdosing, and the biggest thing for me is flavor. Like I think because of the small chamber size, because of the close heating source, and because of the zero combustion, you get to really taste the flower, and it's a little bit more of a ride, right? Like it's an experience. It's like cooking a meal. It's like sourcing the good ingredients and cooking yourself that meal and getting to taste and appreciate it, right? And I guess you can have that experience with dabs as well, but I like the look of flowers. Flowers are beautiful to me. You might have learned this about me over the last while. I like flowers. All right. Flowers are like one of my favorite things in this world. So uh, I do want to try more dabs though. Like I've tried like maybe 3 or 4 dabs my entire life. I only do flower on a very rare opportunity. It's been too smelly for my situation. Live resin vaporizer cartridges do sound nice though. Just find some more commercial in the long run. How did you do that melt? How do you get the oil? So the way I did it is I saved the vaporized little budsicles, and I'm not saving the ones that I'm vaping right now, which is kind of breaking my heart. But I'm giving it back to the earth, so it's okay. I saved the little bud that I vaped, and then after I had in my mind sufficient amount, I put all of that in a double boiler setup. So a container, a bowl over a pot that had water in it that was topped up relatively high, put on its lowest setting that I could manage the heat underneath, and then put the oil and the bud together. Oil is basically hyperphilic. Is that the word? Something like that, which means it has sites chemically to basically absorb the THC molecules. Water doesn't, right? Like, no matter how hard you try, if you try and extract the cannabis that you have in just water, for example, you might get some of the flavors, but you won't get much of the THC. So you need like an oil substance to be basically available, right? Have like the space, have the space to take that THC in and keep it in its medium. And then I had that over that double boiler setup for like 4 hours, give or take. It was very low, so it wasn't that hot to the touch even. And then I filtered most of the bud out. I don't know how I'm going to try this. I'm just going to drink this oil straight up. I probably should do like some sort of measure, like milliliters, and then see how I feel, because Dad would like some as well. And his exact words to me was like, "What if I take a teaspoon of it and I wake up 2 days later?" And I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna be that strong. Hopefully not. No, 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 no. Let's go. No, 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 no. Very rare, commercially. I get the oil. It's going to be 56 Fahrenheit on Christmas Day. Doesn't sound too bad. So we're going to take a family hike back in my day. It used to snow on Christmas. Welcome to global warming, bruh. Destination Earth. Our planet is on fire. It's gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. Like, especially with the amount of change that's already happened. This is not anything that the Earth hasn't dealt with before. It's probably gonna be uncomfortable. It's going to call for us to develop new technology. Part of me already wants to wear a super suit, right? Maybe all of us will just start wearing super suits, bro. Walk around in any climate. You just have a suit that temperature regulates your body. I think that would be the ideal. Hand shoes, it might become economical if you have restraint, but man, is it convenient to have a little weed vape in your pocket all day? No, it's not convenient to have a vape. I don't know. Is it? Is it? Depends on your pocket setup, right? Depends on how you move. I don't really like having things in my pockets myself. I'm old school. I just like being able to grow it, roll it, and smoke it. Dabs and vapes and wax. It's just more steps in my mind. Don't need a torch or a special apparatus. Just me and the plant. Especially if you like roll with like hemp papers as well. I get it. I get it. I really do get it with the Joe Schmo. And if the opportunity arises and there's like a social setting, joints will be smoked. Do not get me wrong. I am definitely not holier than thou. However, for my personal use, just because of the flavors alone, I did try to smoke again. Surprise, surprise. It doesn't taste as good. Big surprise. Who would have guessed? I use paper towel. I split, better filtered, longer shelf life. I mean, this isn't gonna last longer than the end of week, I'm guessing. So, like, I was looking for coffee filters, but we didn't have any, so I had to do like a normal wire mesh filter. I usually like dabs and a whole bong and stuff, so I don't have it in my pocket all the time. Yeah, got to keep my lungs kind and healthy, swampy. What a neat life to have. Love is true. Hand shoes, I just pictured. the fractal of you having like an elaborate military style plastic case chained to your wrist and you start assembling it in one piece at a time. You think vaporizers are healthier for the lungs? I still do believe so, yeah. Day 1085, Melt shows us his pee jar. Bruh. I would be less worried about the pee and much more worried about the particulates, bruh. Like having a jar of pee that's pretty normal, bruh. Surely there's a bunch of pee jars. Having pee that has that many particulates in it, like my body is falling apart. My body, no, please, please. Suddenly my mind is like, oh no, no, please. Technically, and again, I use it with air quotes. Live resin, though, vaporizers is the least lung damaging method outside of edibles for obvious reasons. I'd argue that vapor is better than smoke. Yeah, still probably causes cancer, but yeah, not as bad, not as much cancer. Distillate vapes have much more fuckery in them. Yeah, that's true. Also, no hospitalizations caused by dry vapes. Now, the waxy vapes, on the other hand, this is a different story. Yeah, it's just volume, right? Like if you're doing dry herb vape, it's flower in here. Like you can technically buy an upgrade, like it has a coil that has like high surface area that you can do wax in this chamber as well. But if you're doing flower, it's very hard for you to overdo it, right? Like you would have to have extremely absurdly strong weed in this little chamber to feel like it's like too much. Rarely have I had an experience where I'm like, wow, that was too much for me. Now I cannot cope anymore with reality. This is a small amount of bud at a time. Joe Bot, I bet my house those cards are black market and tainted. I wouldn't be surprised either. I live in Indiana. They really only smoke corn here. I feel you, Grant. That's so uncool. Why is Indiana not legalizing? Come on, Indiana. Get your shit together, bro. People need their medicine. I live in Indiana. Apparently, there's a new law coming out. Like they do want to do like some sort of federal legislation instead of just being state-based. I think I heard something like that in the grapevine. You friends would probably know better than me. I live in the only state in the union that doesn't border a legal state, completely landlocked by prohibition. Wow. Guess you're just not going to smoke weed, handshoes. Guess you're just gonna be like, oh well, guess because the government isn't legally allowing me to buy product that I know what it is and where it was sourced from, guess I'm just not going to buy anything at all. That's exactly what happened, right? Oh no, oh never that happened. Oh, people keep buying weed even if they have to buy it from black market sources. Oh wow, what a surprise! It's almost like the war against the drug doesn't work. It's almost like that, right? It's almost like it's never worked ever in our history as it ever worked, and it never will. Stop. Let people smoke their weed. Oh, I'm sorry, handshoes. I'm getting spicy for you too, bro. Worm-filled log mailing is a thing. We are on the news is a good treatment. I'm not surprised actually. Sorry, my Age of Indiana is showing. I love you, Joe. And when you're ready to get out, we will help you move to an acceptable state. No, I think Indiana is still good. Indiana will come around, slowly but surely. You know why Indiana is so windy? Because Illinois sucks. One of you perished in the fight for Wizard King. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what's going to happen, right? Like, that is probably how it is going to happen. Like the person who ends up surviving ends up becoming Wizard King. Maybe in a weird twist of fate, the person who dies becomes Wizard King. I see that being more real, right? Like I end up training like for 500 years, Like we live for 10,000, and then he's like at the age of 10,000, he's like, okay, bro, I'm 10,000 years old. I'm tired. I can see him being very candid with me. I'm tired. Let's fight to the death for Wizard King title. And I go, okay, dude, give me 500 years to train. And I can see him being super lamenty about it and being like, oh, Wizard King, right, you've had 10,000 years. I'm like, hey, oh, you want to die? You want me to potentially die too? Give me 500 years to train. And then I train for 500 years. I become an absolute juggernaut, right? I actually evolved at the point where I can melt through walls. Not by heat, just by being so jacked, right? Being energetically frequency based, right? Like so myself. Like I'm like imagining anime, and of course this is a joke. Like we're embellishing right now, right? But like imagining the ability to train yourself, to make yourself so strong and so pure and so true in reality that you occupy a certain frequency that is so pure and so true to itself that any frequency that hasn't that much self-belief and self-confidence literally has to move out of the way if that level of confident energy is coming at it, right? So as I walk at walls, because of me knowing so much where exactly I am in reality, the walls start doubting themselves. And then they move out of the way, bro. They're like, shit, I mean, like, am I supposed to be a wall in this space right now? This dude is like walking at me like there's a path here. So I guess there's a path here, and then the freaking molecules just move out of the way. That is how strong I want to be after that 500 years. And then like Christian wants to like do it in a building, live stream to the galaxy, of course. He starts the whole fight of a piece of poetry, and then I walk in late, melting through the walls. Right? Like I'll specifically I'll be intentional with it. Like there'll be a doorway completely into the arena, and I'll walk just like 1 meter, like 3 feet, right to the wall, walk through the walls, melts into the environment, cracks fingers, right? As my fingers crack, air pressure waves, break the floor underneath me. Oh, stretch my back, and like gusts of wind fly over the crowd. And I slay Christian, and he becomes Wizard King. And then he's like, yeah, get wrecked. Your 500 years of training means nothing. I'm pushing it. But you can see the world we're building, right? We'll make shows like this one day, surely. Love again. Perish in the fight with Wizard King. I forgot for what condition. And the guy pooping worms was saying, "Oh, don't get treatment because the gross factor." I'm so confused. Such an amazing vaporizer advertisement. Yeah, hit me up, vaporizer.com. I'm looking for that sponsorship money, bro. Mel, vaporizer.com isn't an actual place. It probably is. It probably is, realistically speaking, but they don't own all the vaporizers. Hey, Mr. Big Money, sir, that owns all the vaporizers. I'd like just gave you an absolutely shining review. Please give me some trickle down. No, Mel, trickle down economies doesn't actually work. Please, sir, let me believe. Okay, I'm pushing it a little bit now. Let me move on. You have mastered the art of stretching the product. Yeah, it is, right? Like it's pretty trippy when you think about it like that. An eighth will literally last me 30 to 40 experiences, right? And then it's like, I don't know how often you smoke a joint, right? Some people will smoke a joint and it will last for 30, 45 minutes or whatever, right? So depending on how many times you smoke, you won't smoke more than a day. At least for me, I won't smoke more than a gram a day, right? So if I can get 30 to 40 hits out of the eighth, that's going to be at least like I'm imagining 10 is almost, too much for a day. I can still see it happening though. I'm doing the math, the pricing, like the cost of this whole experience. And it's instantly causing me, to take pause where I'm like, wait a second. You're doing what now? You're spending money on what now? How much? For how? For what? No ego. Don't look here, dude. Just pretend. Just pretend you don't understand what's happening. Just don't get involved. I have to almost pull the veil over the logical part of myself, the reasonable part of myself, right? The reasonable part of me goes, it is unreasonable to pay any amount of money for anything that has no return on investment, that isn't directly financial. And I'm like, hey, bro, most of the meaningful experiences you have in your life, you had absolutely no return on investment, right? Like going to a festival, you're not going to make money. Technically, it depends on what you're doing, but you're not going to make money going to the festival. You're going to make memories. You're going to meet new people. You're going to get to experience a side of yourself. You're going to learn a lot about yourself. And that has been more valuable than anything I could have done with that money otherwise, right? No tool would have been, for the same price, technically speaking, would have been able to give me as much. So yeah, value. Value is a wonky one. How do you, friends, apply value? How do you give to yourself? And are you willing to give value to yourself? Right? What do you think is valuable that you give to yourself on a day-to-day basis? And you don't have to answer me, but just asking those questions might bring up an experience inside you that can be worthy of your attention, your conscious evolution, if you will. Space as a neck draws out. Oh, hopefully not. Damn, sound divine. I wonder when I'll get the chance to have some. Hopefully soon. I see in my mind's eye you getting a chance to smoke a dab. And I can see you coughing after you exhale it. And I can see your eyes being super, wow. Bless you, Melita. Hopefully it's soon. Damn, amazing. I'm putting cantaloupe sugar leaf in the Dynavap and getting real good hits. You also have a Dynavap? Bless you, bro. Cantaloupe sugar leaves. I mean, sugar leaf, if it has crystals on it, you're going to get good hits from it, bro. I think we have a third Dynavap user now. I didn't know you had one as well, Hoopy. I like the dirt in Florida. I'm not a big fan of the humans, though. Probably a good idea to try to clarify the oil somehow, although if you boiled it already, it should be clear. I mean, again, this is like straight up pieces of bud. I think the oil itself is pretty clear. Clear enough at the very least. But the pieces of debris is stuck in it. And again, I don't care. I'll eat those pieces of debris. Easy peasy, right? I'll eat freaking dirt. I'll actually eat dirt. Pieces of weed ain't no problem. I'm probably going to make myself fat bomb coffee. What do they call it? Bulletproof coffee? Yeah, I'll add like a unit of this oil, and then I'll add like a little bit of butter, and then I'll bzzz, and then I'll slurpy, and see if I get an experience out of it. Little bits or to not, I can imagine it's like I'm drinking a cinnamon coffee or something. It's like pieces of cinnamon floating in there. Only the pieces of cinnamon taste like weed. Joe, Rockstar Games thought Miami was such a special gem that they recreated it for their video game. They saw value in that shithole. I mean, there's value in all things at the end of the day, right? Like it's, again, you that apply the value. It's probably people that grew up there. You got to learn from that place. It used to snow on Christmas like 10 years ago. Since then, it seemed like Christmas Day is the hottest day of the winter now. Time to invent gravity-free hazmat suit. I don't even think we have to go hazmat, right? I don't think we have to be completely domed. Maybe like for the sun damage on our faces. I would like for us to have suits that go like up to here, right? Like I would like to have our heads still exposed, but it might not be good that way. Maybe we'll all have like little drones that just like perfectly position themselves in our shade, so our faces are always like it's like a hat, a flying hat that you don't have to put on your head, or maybe it is on your head until you don't want it on your head anymore. You can just and then that little hat blocks out the sun directly on the spot you're standing in, so your entire body is in shade if it goes far enough away. Makes a big enough spot on you. Sounds pretty cool, right? Yeah, technology. Why not? Why not? Right? Like we're gonna live at least most of us at least for 20 more years, right? Come on, you can do 20. I don't care how old you are right now or how sick we are. 20 years at least. In 20 years, we're going to live in a whole new world. Things are gonna be a lot more possible. I think designer tech is gonna get really cool, right? Imagine being able to design your own technology for yourself and being able to have it made because the core components, the foundation is like so thickly laid that anything that you choose to make for yourself is going to be mostly uh, aesthetic and boutique. Is that the right word? Custom. So it's going to be good and it's going to be made for you and it's going to look cool. Right? Imagine just, oh, bro, I'm like so excited. The future is going to be cool. All we have to do is stay alive. Keep breathing. Keep breathing right now, and we'll get to see many more cool things. Don't give up, dear friends. Love is true. I suggested before, Mel started to talk about it. The gravity-free hazmat suit, nice. We were on the same fractal. Yeah, do some tests with the oil, then make cookies. But don't let mama get them mixed up with hers. No, my mom actually has baked cannabis cookies that I have given her the oil for, right? Like intentionally. So my mom is down, you know, she's willing to make me edibles, which is also very nice of her. No, 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 no. I'm just a quiet critter in this beautiful wetlands. I don't know what they're doing over there on the coast. It's a lot of fuckery, I'm assuming. Getting fiber optic cable installed as we speak. Yes, dude, get that bandwidth. Mega fast bandwidth. Yeah, bro. It's like the pipe to the internet is thicker. You get to get blasted harder. I'm sorry. Vote blue no matter who, Joe. That's the golden rule for states like ours. Screw the government. I do what I want. Love is true. I like the dirt in Florida. Judge who gets me. Hand shoes. I remember that switch from satellite to fiber. And I'm so flippity flap and excited for when you're about to feel. Yeah, dude, it's quite an upgrade. The immediacy of it. Wormhole of fiber optics is like time travel by comparison, 100% more power. I'm excited. You're all having, yeah, more, more. Missouri is deeply red. The metro I live in is blue, however. And it's a strange tide here. Bless you, Sam. Bless you on this journey. It's going to be a wild ride for you, American friends, probably over the next few years. We'll show up together despite all of the change you'll go through. Love is true, you know. Like I'm like opening the door, metaphorically speaking, to South Africa for you friends as well. So maybe you'll come to South Africa. Maybe I'll convince you eventually. I swear, like I don't know anyone who wants weed to be illegal other than the politicians. Not even the cops I know want it to be illegal. It doesn't help, bro. That's the thing, right? It doesn't help making it illegal. It's like it's an illusion, a fallacy that we kind of keep holding on to for some reason. Also, guys, I've gotten 20 tattoos this year, part of investing in myself. You've gotten 20 tattoos, and I wouldn't be happier with my progress. My body has come through. Dude, I'm so curious, but I imagine that's very, you know, private and personal. Bless you, bro. I'm happy to hear you investing in yourself and doing things for yourself. Like it's trippy how today's stream topic is about that, giving you to yourself, and how our beloved Hand Shoes Grant, I believe, is really doing that, showing us another vector. I never thought getting 20 tattoos in a year could be one way of giving you to yourself, and yet that's the way that he is doing it right now. Once the general population starts to recognize the amount of pharmaceuticals that are pushed upon the popular as a whole, the populace as a whole, probably, I feel it's inevitable that weed will become recreational legally abroad. Oh, absolutely. Like our bud was illegal because of the American illegal status, and we had this weird thing happening in South Africa where our right to smoke recreationally was recognized before our right to smoke medically was recognized, right? So it's completely legal for every single person in South Africa to smoke weed, to have weed, to grow their own weed. It is not legal for them to sell it to anybody, technically, right? And it's a weird market we find ourselves in as well for that reason. So slowly but surely these things are unfolding, at least. People are speaking up for themselves. Just say no, Nancy Reagan can take some of the blame, but who we really need to be talking about is Harry Anslinger, first commissioner of the Federal Bureau of Narcotics and liar extraordinaire. This dude, along with other prolapsed anuses, another prolapsed anus by the name of William Randolph Hearst, are the reason marijuana is illegal today. Yeah, use it as a smear tactic, use it as a reason to demonize a whole group of people, use it as a reason to over police, to overstep ethical boundaries, right? Using something that people love against them is true evil. And like that's what a lot of our countries are built on in many ways, which is a little bit concerning. Joe Schmo, here in Columbia, the police have decided that they're going to treat Delta 8 and other hemp byproducts the same as weed, basically undoing the 2019 Farm Bill. Nice. It'll take federal legalization, like they did gay marriage, to make it legal here. Basically, tie it to the federal funding to make it legal. I think that is happening, though, right? Hey, Google, what is the state of federal legalization of weed in America right now? I don't know if that's the right way to ask the question, but U.S. territories, another 7 are decriminalized. I mean, it's giving me some information, but it's not giving me good information. 8 states that may legalize in 2023. So it seems Arkansas, Delaware, Florida, Hawaii, Idaho, Kansas, Kentucky, and Minnesota are 13 states. I mean, only seeing a few of them, though. The second title has 13 states on the title. But apparently there are, slowly but surely, more of them coming online. And eventually it's going to be stupid to have like few spots being like, oh yeah, no, we're going to arrest you in this country for doing something that literal people are buying weed with their tax dollar monies, right? Next door, right? It's going to be pretty stupid. Hopefully, at least, it happens quicker than later. We eat drugs all day and consume synthetic products for our health. Weed will just be a plant soon, something that really doesn't weigh in on the harmful scale. That's my hope. Bruh, like alcohol is being sold readily. If we had to pay attention to alcohol's effects, known effects, in comparison to what weed does, it's like almost a non-compete. Like they don't even fall in the same worlds of harm that they do, like kind of like cause our beings. It'll take federal, yeah. Bulletproof, yes. I love to add cinnamon. Love is true. Medicare for all of the federally funded program, as in your state, along with every other one, contributes annually to the program and consents to participate. My state chooses not to participate because Medicare for all is somehow evil. Yeah, of course, Sam. If you have every single person have medical care, then how am I going to make money from all of my fingers in the pies of all of these pharmaceutical companies and all of these insurance companies, right? How am I going to make millions of money? So I'm going to buy my second yacht. How am I going to buy my second yacht without you paying out your ass for life-saving medication? No. No, please. I want more monies. That's how it happens. Dynavab gang, love is true. So Missouri, it practices, loses money on some moronic moral stand that handouts are for lazy people. Yeah, of course. Check out Discord afterwards. Mel sent you a message so you can sell me on the idea of a vape. I can order by the end of the day. Oh goodness, that's a big responsibility. It depends on how much monies you have to spend on a vape, right? I know exactly what I'm gonna say. Yeah, all I need is like a price range. If you give me a price range, that's the best way to know exactly which ones you're gonna get. It's crazy world these days, and I feel like we won't have to suffer that incompetence for much longer. We are in a self-consuming culture that will inevitably fall if it doesn't evolve. I pray for evolution of the collective reflection. Hopefully, with technology, the collapse and then the inevitable rebuild will happen quicker than it ever has, right? It might look in the same way as the 2008 crash did as well, right? Like, yeah, a bunch of shit went down, but because of where we are technologically right now, things recover quickly, fortunately. Accelerating, right? 17 out of 20 are critters, and they're all on one leg. I, for a long time, wouldn't buy tattoos because I didn't intend to live long enough for them to make sense. Now I can say different. Interesting, interesting how that's your reasoning, dear friend. Right? Because some people argue when they look at tattoos like, hey, bro, what if you're a grandpa one day? Aren't you gonna be something something about your tattoos? And grandson is the exact opposite. It's like, bruh, now I actually am gonna be a grandpa one day. So now it makes sense to get these tattoos so that one day I can look back at them as a grandpa. Right? Now they mean something. The time frame is the thing that really breaks me, dude. The 17 out of 20 are critters. So like little creatures. And I have them all on one leg. Okay, so it's like a, I don't know if you call like whole leg tattoo sleeves as well, but a leg sleeve. I feel confused. I feel like I'm saying something wrong. Bless you, bro. If you're willing to, be willing to share, bro. Like we would love to see your tattoos as well. Dear world, please wake up. Dear world, we need you to wake up. You have slept long enough. Maybe you should spend more time in Discord, Mel, Grand Post, all the tattoos he gets. He has very colorful and illustrated, man. Maybe I should. Maybe I should. Like I feel Discord is something that I have a certain level of anxiety around. Like if it's not the photos not loading, it's the not getting or not being able to keep up, right? And then I get obsessive, right? I make it a part of my pattern, and then I'll do it for between an hour and 2 hours every morning, and yeah, and then I start questioning, and then that questioning leads to senses of guilt, and then that sense of guilt leads to dissociation in still using Discord. Like it's a whole thing. Thank you for letting me know though. I want to go see those tattoos. It's only a matter of time before the Santa steps in his own tongue hold, yo. It's been so rad to watch. Hand shoes become your body is a temple. Decorate it however you see fit. I just posted an update on the critters in the creative space, Mel. There we go. Let me go check. Thank you, Grant. Creative space. I can see them. I mean, again, Like this is what I mean, right? Like even though now I know that there's something happening here, this is my Discord experience. There we go. At least now it's starting to happen. That's so cool. I really like that frog, dude. Damn, bro. That frog makes me happy. I like the tiger. Makes me think about Maxine right now. This is so freaking cool. I mean, I'm still dealing with the same, but it's happening slowly but surely. Hey. Ooh, prong mantis. Very cool bird. Oh, the skull is a snail. That's so cool. The freaking Mike Tyson toad. It's like, I think that's my favorite one of all of them, bro. You're like, oh, I want to see Mike Tyson toad. I'm sorry if I'm not supposed to share, Grant. But there's no faces at least, right? Look at Mike Tyson toad. I don't know if he is called Mike Tyson toad, but it's fun to say. Try saying it out loud. Mike Tyson toad. It sounds like asymptote, right? Mike Tyson toad. It's so cool. I like them spirals as well. My non-critter tattoos. That bird, the penguin, is freaking cool. The dapper smoking dude with his cool hat. The bee with knives, guns, and hammers. Is that a bee? Christmas bee? That spider looks super good. This is sick, dude. Little kitty cat as well. Seeing Sam's art as well. The wind was a torrent of darkness among the gusty trees. The moon was a ghostly galleon tossed upon cloudy seas. The road was a ribbon of moonlight over the purple moor. And the highwaymen came riding. The highwayman's moon. That's pretty cool. Looking at Sam's art as well. You see, congratulations. Now I want to get lost in the fractal of Discord again. So many fractals. You know what the best part is? Eventually, I'll be able to absorb all of it. All right. Eventually. Let's see how long it takes. Mike Todson. Psychedelic Mike Todson. Do you have any shrimps? I think one at the very least. As we come, everybody's a temple, decorated however you see fit. We need hemp villages, places where everything is made of it. Yes, that sounds really cool, actually. I would love that. I want to grow enough hemp to have a hillside village of intertwined vines that create bridges and walkways and arches everywhere. Super hemp vine village. I think you can maybe do that. Eventually, right? Like we will be able to do that with robotics. Robotics and 3D printing technology. Where we can have like, we're gonna still have to grow the hemp, but then as we process that hemp, it gets fed directly into these 3D printing machines, and then they can do that, right? Weaving together these villages with these bridges and these seating areas and these places to dance and these stages, right? Literally weaving it out of the lignin that we grew out of our hemp plants. I think it's gonna look super cool. More love. More nature, bamboo and hemp, collaboration to create living structure. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Yeah, that does sound kind of awesome, man. It's called a patchwork sleeve. There we go. Yeah, thank you for letting me know, friend. Damn, you've been busy. That's a lot of new ink. Very cool, Mike Dodson. Shrimps is bugs of the sea. Oh wow, I need to get that full text of the Highwayman, so we can hear all of it. That was beautiful, Mel. No, you. Thank you for writing it, for sharing it with us. You got something in your hair. I know, I could feel it. It's probably the freaking like stuff falling out of the tree. There we go. Being a person, occupying space, can be uncomfortable sometimes. Yet, I am giving this to myself right now. Right? Surely I want this. Surely I want to feel what it's like to have my hair tickle my face. Otherwise, I wouldn't have hair and I wouldn't have a face. Right? Right, surely you got something. Thank you again for the love. Not bugs or land shrimps. Sorry, guys, the Wi-Fi people made me do some stuff. I'm back now. No, it's fine. Bless you. I checked out your tattoos. I don't know if you missed my looksy at them and my celebration of you. Probably, maybe. Sorry for reminding you of your personhood. I hate when that happens. Yeah, suddenly I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a person that has hair that's occupying space. And because I'm a person that has hair that occupies space, and because there's a tree above me that has shedding flowers, I will get things in my hair. And because of my hair and the texture thereof, it's almost like a sticky situation for that piece of debris to fall within. Just had to check if I was actually holding the back of the cards. Yeah. Personing in this world. Like having a photo taken of me as well instantly brings me to the reality of me being a person in the world. Like as soon as my niece came, she wanted to take a photo with me to send her mom because her mom wanted to see me again. Her mom, as I mentioned yesterday, was like one of my aunts. She was one of my grandpa's children's children. Children. Making her my niece. But I was a kid when her mom was older than me. And she took care of me as a little one. And she absolutely adored me. Apparently I was great. I can't remember most of that part of my life, unfortunately. But she has heard so much about me through her life, about how great I am. And then she came here with that as like, my mom has told me so much. And then we took a photo. And then seeing myself in that photo, I was like, oh goodness. Oh wow. Oh wow. This is the card we pulled. Rainbow DNA. Like there's something about being a person in there, right? The fact that we pulled this card. Okay, you know what? Yeah. Not only are you a person, but you are multiple things at the same time as well. Multiple fractals of DNA are being expressed. Dormant DNA. That you are yet to express. DNA you are only to activate to reach your full potential. One more look-see at it. I choose green. I mean, there is very much to... I feel like even though it's supposed to be technically yellow, it comes out as more greenish. All of the colors would have been right. It's a rainbow DNA. Love is true though. Can I share a poem I wrote when I was sick? Please do. Tag me in it on the Discord so I can click on it from above. I'll read it if you want me to. Life is lovely and the sky is still blue, my friends. Enjoy your day. I want to hear it. It's called Light, abbreviation, forgetting oneself. Mm. Um, Let me know where you posted it, or if you're going to post it here in chat. Orange and blue mushroom shape. I can imagine that shape behind the DNA looking like a mushroom from the top. I'll share. I've got a snail skull, a crab skull, a praying mantis, a beetle sword, a tiger, a smoking rat, two bees, a spider, a mouse, a mammoth, skeleton, a parrot, a crow, a shrimp, an anglerfish, and of course the Mike Tyson frog. Mike Tyson frog, dude, for the win. Bro, it's so amazing, man. Thank you for sharing them with us. Gives me some inspiration. I want to get more tattoos as well, but I wanna be like super meticulous about it. I want to get tattoos that would be akin to like cybernetic upgrades. That's the way I want to think of them. Like, yeah, they're tattoos, but I want them to be placed on my body like they're like body augmentations. Right? They're like tattoos are body augmentations, Mel. Don't you get clever with me. I mean like upgrades, right? I don't know how to explain it. Like I'm very much still a kid at heart. Some of your friends might have noticed, right? I still do think things are cool. I think things are so cool, right? It's cool for me that we can have dogs. I find that super cool. I don't think it's very normal, but I still find it's cool. And in that same way, right, the fact that we have these little entities that look up to us and we can pet them and stuff, I find the ability to upgrade the human being, right? And again, your cell phone is an upgrade to your human being. A human being with no cell phone and no idea what a cell phone is versus a human being with a cell phone and that knows how to use it are literally two different entities when it comes to how capable they are of enacting change, for example, doing things. Rainbow DNA. Let our DNA evolve with our technology. There we go. Our poem is being sent. Without light, there is no art. I used to have eyes, but now they are foggy. Like a hermit crab writing, I want to see, but I'm taken aback by the light that mesmerizes me. Hold me close, so I can fly to glory like a butterfly. Yet, I am torn asunder. At the end, I wrote, I am banana. I am Susanna. I am a banana. I am Susanna. I was struggling to remember my name and stuff. Without light, there is no art. Without you, disconnected for a moment there. I used to have eyes, but now they are foggy. The part of you that sees always can now realize that it sees less, right? Having that foggy of an experience. Like a hermit crab writing, hiding, but still creating. I want to see, but I'm taken aback by the light that mesmerizes me. As the information is absorbed, foggy as it may be, can even be overwhelming, mesmerizing. You can get lost in it. Hold me close so I can fly to glory like the butterfly, yet I am torn asunder. Sometimes butterflies get eaten by birds, right? And yet you paint both of them. Zano, you paint both the little birds and the butterflies. You are loved, dear friend. Thank you for sharing your work with us. It has to be, it's up to me. Loves and blessings to you all. Back to you too. I have a skull and crossbones tattooed on me. Poison symbol. I have considered tattoo removal more than once, but I feel like there is a constant reminder of choices made that are permanent. It depends on where it is, right? If it's affecting your life and it's people see it and they're like, Are you poison? Are you the poison? Am I supposed to be scared of you? I get it. You were loved, bro. I enjoy your poem. Dono, thank you. One more time. Consciously evolving, spiraling into our own DNA. Let's read what it means. I was talking about like the diversity of humanity as well as like an important theme or something to consider within this way that we're giving ourselves, giving us to ourselves, right? Like the whole of humanity, giving that which is us to that which is ourselves, because we are the same ourselves, right? All of us have this, right? Like think about that. This is technically what is at the base of us. If not for the same DNA, we wouldn't look the same. You wouldn't be able to see that I have eyes and a nose and a mouth to make sounds with and ears. You would be like, the fuck am I looking at, right? Or you wouldn't have anything to look at. You wouldn't be able to recognize me as your same, as your kin, as your peoples. We share the same DNA. It's just starting to rain. I'm going to read what it means. Card number 42. Conscious evolution. Straight up. Straight up conscious evolution. Yeah. Yeah. Human DNA uses the phi ratio to form the wave that spins our genetic codes. Scientists seeking to understand and to unravel the mysteries of these codes observe a mass of unexpressed DNA within the traditional double helix, labeled by some as junk DNA. This additional information epitomizes our highest potential as yet unexpressed. We talked about that stuff as well with like the whole eating of worms and dirt. All right, expressing information. Maybe if the worms eat the other mashed up worms, that DNA they absorb has the information about how to solve those mazes. What a trip. What a trip. In most humans, only about 3% of that code is currently switched on. By activating these dormant genes, we find the gateway to an infinite source of evolutionary wisdom. Decoding and activating this full spectrum of insight and understanding creates a rainbow of possibilities that correspond to the emerging field of conscious evolution. Part of that process is learning the dynamics through which evolution does its transformational work. Through exploration of these dynamics, we can intentionally and wisely apply them to transform ourselves and our world. Visualize yourself spinning within this beautiful rainbow DNA, activating your potential. Draw upon the potent emotions of love and compassion to stimulate the harmonics of your heart and speed your pace of evolution. Each time you act from your heart, you contribute to the intentional, conscious evolution of humankind and the healing of Mother Earth. Yeah, that's what you're doing right now, right? When I say conscious evolution, that's a big deal, yo. So big. Such a big deal. And you're doing it every day. You cannot help but do it, right? You can do it less consciously, but you cannot do it completely unconsciously. It has to happen consciously, right? And you friends are super conscious. Thank you for showing up the way that you do, for choosing love above all else. 42 is the answer. Life, the universe, and everything. What is it all for? What is it all for, dear friends? If not for love. 42 units of love. Right? Maybe in the same way as the Kelvin system. Maybe 42 units of love is the maximum amount of love. Right? That's full love. Full tilt. Okay. Stream time is over. The rain kind of stopped again. A few drops fell on my pages while I was reading, and it was not very stoked about that. I was like, let me play some kalimba before we finish today's stream. There is still some drops falling. We'll do 2 minutes. I can feel them now again. I'm getting challenged, but I'm also waiting for no limba. Yee limba. So flipping cute. To love and help someone greater than yourself, to give of yourself, to also take care of yourself. Right? To acknowledge, and this is now another way to articulate it, and it might be a little bit pungent when I say it that way, but to acknowledge that you, yes, you, whatever you may think of yourself, can and literally are helping God right now. I know it's a lot. I know it's a bit pungent. I said so, right? But you are helping that which is God, right? If you weren't a part of God's plan, if you believe in that type of God, then you would be smitten, right? Get completely smited it. But no. So surely you're supposed to be here. You are a part of the plan, which means you are helping, which means you are greatly needed, necessary, loved. You're helping something greater than yourself, to give of yourself, to also take care of yourself. Yelimba. 2 minutes and 22 seconds, starting now. And just like that, our stream has come to its natural end. And we can say goodbye. At least for today. We'll be here again by tomorrow. Ground Sparkle. Hello, Meltmore. Just stopping by to say hi. Hi to you, dear friend. It's nice of you to come and say hi. Thank you. Sending you blessings. We are all in our God bodies, blessed by Oshan. I don't know that one, but bless him right back. Even when I'm just lurking at them. It's such a great expression being here with you, crazy, awesome humanimals. I'm grateful for each and every one of you, as we are grateful for you too. Thank you, Kristen, for blessing us with your love. Smited. Yeah, you don't want to get smited. Getting smitted. Smjated. It's not great. The higher vibrations will draw your spirit upward, and eventually we will rise above the fog, getting to see clear that love is true, that it always has been, even, right? That's going to be the biggest joke. We're going to rise above the fog, and we're going to be like, oh, wait a second. Wait a second. This seems familiar. Is love true right now? Or something? And we're like, yeah. How about that, huh? There is our Joeified chat message. Thank you, Joe. It goes, have the mostest, beautifulestest day, everyone. You're for realser, so very muchly macho, grando, and bigly appreciated. Mindfully moral, melt more, and all of you, oh so very exquisitely inquisitively, infinitely, explicitly, resplendently, transcendently, independently, individually, wholesome, humanimal critter creatures, giving yourself what you need to get where you want to go. You friends are so very precious, and we love you too. Thank you for such a beautiful message, for blessing all of us with those words. Literally, like actually, those words have vibrations in them. You're like, oh Mel, please don't start with the vibrations. No, I'm being technical right now, right? Like without vibrations, there is no sound. So all of those words have vibrations. And we would like to believe that words like transcendently, right? Inquisitively, what a nice one, has good vibrations in it. Because it doesn't instantly make us feel bad, right? So getting those vibrations into your ears means that they have now been absorbed by your being. And I would like to believe that all of our lives will now be better thanks to your friends' efforts. Thank you for sending beautiful words. Thank you for being your beautiful selves. Thank you for joining me today. For giving yourself to the ourself that we are. Love is true. Thank you. Sending you blessings. And I'll see you again soon. Tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody. Until then. Cheers!